Right. Have you guys heard about this word called as DNS before?
Yes,
So what it is?
it is providing the name resolution.
Correct. So give me 2 minutes. Let this set up. We have everything in place. Okay. So let's start now. So what have we seen so far? That is very important. Okay. So what have we seen is we have created a server. Correct. We have created something called a server, and then we have created an application or downloaded an application from internet and deployed that particular application on the server. Correct. So we have created server, and inside this server I have deployed an application. So I got this internet application from the internet, and this application is deployed in this server. Okay. So now what I have done is, to access this application, I have used my browser, and in the browser I started giving my application IP address. Correct. So the browser, I type some IP address, something like 123.21.12.12. So assume that this is the IP address for this particular server, and I started calling this application with this IP address. Correct. So that's what I have done. Okay. So now my application will be accessible through this IP address. So this is what we have done so far. Correct. How many of you agree with me? Or you don't know what I'm speaking about? So we have created a server. We have seen how to deploy server and deploy an web application on the server, and then how to call that web application from our local computer. That is what I have seen, right? That is what we have seen so far. Yes, no, anything? Guys, you can type yes in the chat or no,
Yes,
anything.
yes,
I'll just
Yeah,
understand. Okay, so you are in track with me, correct? Now the biggest problem is, okay, the biggest problem is this particular IP address, correct? I cannot give it to my customer. So it is very hard to remember. Say I'm starting a business, and if I want my customer to remember my IP address, do you think that is easy or difficult?
it's difficult.
Difficult, correct? I cannot give my IP address. Even people are finding it very hard to remember the mobile numbers, correct? In this scenario, if I give the IP address, no one will be interested to get in touch to me with me through this IP address. So what I will do is, I will use a service which is called as DNS. Okay. And using this service, I'm going to do some DNS translation. So the service that I'm going to use is called as DNS. Okay. This DNS service is going to do some translation. What translation? Translation from IP address to domain name. Okay. The service name is DNS. And what it is going to do, it is going to translate. What is the domain name I have? I have a domain name purchased in GoDaddy, which is called as Madrasis. Okay. How many of you heard about this website called as GoDaddy? Have you heard about this website called as GoDaddy?
Yes, we
Yes.
can
Yes.
buy domains.
Correct. This guy has offered me a domain, and the domain name is called as Madrasis Technologies or Madrasis. Okay. So I'm going to use this service which is called as DNS, and I'm going to assign this name that I'm purchasing it here. What is the name that I have purchased? www.madrasis.com. So I purchased it on behalf of my company name. So my company name is Madrasis, and I'm going to use that particular name. Okay. So this name I'm going to assign to this particular IP address through this service called as DNS. So what I have to do, I have to go to DNS and I have to create something called as hosted zone, okay, or DNS zone. Okay. So when I create zones, I will get two component. Okay, I will get how many components? Two component. So first component is called as name servers. Second component is called as state of authority, SOA. Okay, so these two components I will get. So what I have to do is I have to map this name servers to GoDaddy. So how many name servers I will get for this? So there will be 2 to 3 name servers that I will be getting. Okay, sorry, 4 to 5 name servers. Most of the cases you will get 4. Sometimes you will get 5. Okay, so there will be four name servers that you will be getting generally. Okay, 4 records you will be getting. So for now, what I will do, I will mark it as name server 1. Okay. And name server 2, name server 3, and lastly name server 4. I'll be getting all these 4 components when I create this hosted zone. So what is the state of authority and what is the name server? That is very important. People will be asking you the interview. Okay. Name server 3 and name server 4. Okay. So this is very important. So this name servers are caching servers. Okay, so it is going to route your connections to this particular IP address. So when someone try to reach your name server, this name server will link you to this server. This name server will again link you to this server. All these name servers are going to link to the parent server. Okay, so only work it do is reroute the connection. Reroutes the connection. Okay. And what is the state of authority? State of authority is a value which is ideally used to calculate the time seconds. For example, if someone is trying to reach this name server, and how many seconds it has to time out, in how many seconds it has to retry, all the default values will be stored in state of authority. We should not touch this as state of authority at any point. So we should keep it as such. Okay, so only thing you can do is like you can create this record set. Okay, So the state of authority is not modifiable, name server is not modifiable. Then what you can do? What you can do is you can create something called as record set. Yes, any questions?
Vignesh, can you explain the SOA once again?
So SOA is state of authority. Okay. So these are some default values that Azure manages. You don't have to worry about this SOA at any cost. Okay. So these are some technical terms related to domain name servers and all, like this DNS concept. So these are not non-customizable values that you don't have to worry about. So this will have some time limits, like like when a customer is trying to access this domain name, and this domain name, what it will do is like it will reroute the connection to one of the name servers, and this name servers, what it does is it reroutes the connection to this IP address. So during this process, if there is any time lag or no, like any issue, there should be a default timeout period. So it should try to connect for at least 90 seconds and then it should fail. So all these default time limits are managed by SOA. Okay, state of authority. You don't have to worry about it. These are the default values. You're not going to touch anything out there. Okay. So what you will do with this DNS after creating this DNS zone, what you will do is you will create something called as record set. You will create something called as record set. Okay. This record set is the mapping of resource to DNS. So this resource, what you do, you map this to DNS service. Okay. You map this record to DNS service. That's it. And you map all these name servers to GoDaddy. So how it will work is whenever there is a new person trying to access madrasistechnologies.com, GoDaddy will route the connection to this name server which is integrated, and this name servers will route the connections to the record set which is integrated to DNS service. The record set will have the information about the server IP address. The server IP address will be mapped to the server, and at the end, the customer connection will be routed to the server. This is how the flow works. Is it clear or confusing, or you want me to repeat it one more time?
Could you please repeat one more time?
So what you do, you go to your browser and type matrasis.com. That's the domain name. Okay. This domain name is bought in GoDaddy, correct? In the GoDaddy, there is a section called as DNS, manage DNS, where you will give the information about the name servers. That is the first step. So what it will do, this matrasis.com will, this request which is going to this matrasis.com will be routed to this name servers. Okay, step one. This name server belongs to this DNS service, correct? So this name server will look for any record set that is available in this DNS service. So there is only one record set, and this record set is having the information about this IP address. So what it will do is the connection from the name servers will be routed to the corresponding record set. And in the corresponding record set, I have the information about this server's IP address. So it will again route the connection to this IP address, and this IP address belongs to this server. Eventually, the application will be visible for the customer who is trying to access madrasistech.com. So this is how the flow works for DNS service, or this is the same case with any other cloud platform. In AWS, the same service is called as Route 53. In GCP, there is something called as Cloud DNS. And again, it is a similar concept. Still, it is confusing or it is easy? I hope it should be easy now.
Yes.
Or what we will do, we'll go for the practicals. Once after the practicals, you tell me whether it is difficult or easy. Is that okay? Anybody, any questions? Anybody, any questions? Okay then. So what I'll do, I'll go for the practicals and you guys tell me whether if it is okay. So give me a yes and then I'll continue from here. Guys, yes, no? Okay, so I got a couple of yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to log into my GoDaddy. Okay, I'm going to log into GoDaddy, and here I'm going to sign in as Metrasis Technologies. Okay, I don't think I don't have an account with as Metrasis Technologies. There are no domains. I'm going to log out and log in as another user. So this is the user where I have access to my product. Okay, so behind your name there is something called as my product, and you can find your product. So if you have purchased, you will find this product. If you have not purchased, you have to go to GoDaddy and look for domain and type the domain that you want. Maybe you'll have something in your mind, like you want to start up a business, e-commerce business, or any name. So anything you think of, you can have. For example, if you want to create a company called as uh, network, so it doesn't have any meaning, but like when we say network, it is eventually put not a bad name, correct? So have a name like this and do a search, and you'll be able to find your own domain. What's happening? Uh, Find a new domain network. Okay, so it is doing a search. It is trying to identify whether I have this domain open or not. So network is available. I can buy it for 499. Okay, so this is something interesting, correct? So you can buy your own domain. Likewise, I have purchased my own domain, and the domain name is Metrasis. Step one is completed. You will create your own domain and have your domain ready for the integration. Step two, what you will do, you will where are we? Okay. So step two, what you will do, you will go to Azure portal and create a server and deploy an application. So create a server and deploy application. So I'm clicking on this option called as virtual machine. And in the virtual machine, I have 3 servers already. And in one of the servers, the application is already deployed. So I'm going to use this particular application, which we use to deploy application, correct? So I copy this IP address and I'm seeing if the application is still running for me. Application is still accessible, all good, correct? So step three, what we are going to do, we are going to extend this website. How we will extend? So what we will do, we will go to DNS service, type DNS on browser, click on DNS zones, create a DNS zone, and in what name you're going to create? You're going to create this DNS zone on, so let me select this group, okay. I'm going to create a DNS zone with the name Madrasis. Madrasis .com. So what is the name? This is the name of the product that I have purchased in GoDaddy, correct? Madrasses.com. So I'm clicking on tags. I'm not going to add any tag to this. Click next and review. So I've told you, when we create this particular hosted zone, okay, when we create this particular hosted zone, we will create two components. What are those components? So one is the name server and other one is the state of authority, correct? So these two things we will get. Let's see if you're getting them. Okay, so deployment in progress. I'm waiting for this deployment to complete. Okay, so I got two things. One is the name server, second one is the state of authority. So how many name servers I've got? 1, 2, 3, and 4. How what is SOA? I've got the Azure email DNS email that I have to use, and I've got an host name, and it says that every 3600 seconds it should refresh. It should retry every 300 seconds. Expiration date is something around 1 year, I think. Time to live is 300 seconds. All this information I'm getting. Okay, these are all the default values, which I'm not going to worry at all. Both are default values. Now I have to do two things. Okay, first thing is this name server should be mapped to GoDaddy. Okay, so how we will map this name servers to GoDaddy? That is very interesting topic. So what you have to do is you have to go to GoDaddy, and there is an option called as manage DNS. You see this manage. Click manage DNS, and here there is an option called as manage domain. Click on manage domain, and you'll be able to find this. Not here. Let me go back to DNS, and yeah, go to DNS, and it is coming straight forward. There is something called name servers. Change name servers, and here give the four new values that we have. So what are the four different values that we have? One is ending with .com. Second one is ending with .net. Third one is ending with .org. Fourth one is ending with .info. Okay, the name servers are updated. So this particular area, okay, so this particular area is completed. So do you guys have any questions or doubts until this point? Can we map this area now? Is it okay? All clear? Just type clear so that I'll understand. No, like you are not so confused about this step. Just give me a clear. I mean, just type clear in the chat, and I'll take a message from there. Okay. So when it, which one you want to? I mean, I couldn't. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just mapping this name servers which I got from Azure portal. Okay, to GoDaddy. So to do that, what I did, I went into GoDaddy. Okay, and I went into. I mean, this will be the screen that when you will look like when you get into GoDaddy. And here there is an option called as domain, and I have this option called as manage DNS. So when I click this manage DNS, I will be put into this name servers where I'll have to just change this name servers. So copy it from the Azure DNS, copy it from this Azure DNS and paste it here. That's it, one after another. So ns137, ns137.com.net.org.info. All these four values are updated here. And I have just saved this particular configuration. So that is all about this area. Is it okay, Vinith? So this is the only change that I have done so far. Is it okay, Vinith? Can I proceed?
Yeah.
And Kaligatala Sairam, correct? Sairam, is it okay? Okay. So second configuration is very easy. So you don't have to spend a lot of time. So click on this option called as record set and give the IP address of the web application you want to deploy. So this is the IP address of the application that I want to deploy. Copy this, go here, not here, go here, paste the IP address, remove all the slashes, HTTP, other things, only the IP address you're going to keep, click OK, and this will create you the third entry in the zone, which is called as record set. Okay, this record set is created. So we are going to leave this setup for 5 minutes. Okay, and then we are going to access www.madrasis.com, and then we will be able to see the GoDaddy is pushing. GoDaddy will push the request to name servers. Name server will push the records. I mean, push the request to record set. Record set will push the request to the server through this IP address, and we'll be able to access the application. So this part is called as DNS translation. So let's give 5 minutes or 7 minutes for this, and then we will proceed. Okay, 9:41 is the time now. We will try it out around 9:46. Okay. So time is almost 3-4 minutes now. So what I'll do, I'll go to internet and I'll type www.madrasis.com. It is not loading for me. Can anybody try and let me know like if it is working for you? Try typing madrasis.com on internet and let me know like if it is working for you.
Vignesh, I'm able to access.
Sorry,
I'm able to.
you're able to. So which means that your service provider has cached the content very quickly than my internet service provider. If possible, can you take a screenshot or just photo of it and like post it in the group so that everybody sees? I'll also try to open an incognito session and try process. Okay, so not required. It is I got this application. So now what I'm doing, I'm typing madrasis.com and very well I'm able to see the application with the domain name instead of IP address. So guys, now tell me which looks better to you. So this madrasis.com is looking better or the typing IP address is better? Which is better?
Madrasis.com is better.
Madrasis.com.
Madrasis.com is better.
Better, correct? Okay, guys. So this is about the session. So I hope this will be slightly complicated for the people who are new to IT, but when you practice it will not be so difficult. Okay, so try practicing this and we will meet in our next class. If you have any doubts you can ask me now. If not, we will meet in the
For,
next session.
for this new to buy domain.
Sorry, yeah, you have to buy domain to work with this.
Okay.
Okay, okay, then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time with a different topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye
Sure.
bye.
Thank you.